From Ronaldo banning his family from saying Messi's name, to a player smashing his teammate's wife. These are the football players who hate each other. And first off, Lukaku hates a football player because he called his mom a witch. Being former teammates at Manchester United, everyone expected Zlatan and Lukaku to get along well. But during the first Milan derby of the 2020-2021 season, AC Milan came out victorious, and Ibrahimovic called himself the god of Milan. The two rival teams met again at Coppa Italia, but this time, things weren't going Zlatan's way. Just before halftime, a shoulder barge on Lukaku turned this normal derby into complete chaos. After the referee blew for halftime, Lukaku was ready to take this beef to the next level.
Because the stadium announcer mentioned
and you can sense Zlatan wanted all the smoke. But things calmed down and Inter won the game with Zlatan sent off for a second yellow. The next month, Inter defeated Milan 3-0 to wrap up their first league title since 2010. Lukaku then posted, "The real God has crowned the king. Now bow down." Damn, that must have hurt Zlatan bad, because he revealed he was planning to take his revenge on Lukaku. Unfortunately, the pair didn't face each other again as Lukaku went to Chelsea. At least their rivalry ended in one city. Unlike Roy Keane, who hated a player so bad, he now hates his son too. When Roy Keane jogged into the match against Leeds in '97, he thought he was just getting into another match. But when Alfie Haaland accused him of faking an injury, that's when he knew he had to turn to the dark side. After 4 years, the pair met again in the Manchester Derby, but this time, Keane was out for blood. After one of the most horrific tackles in football history, Keane stood over an injured Haaland and damn. They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but Roy Keane is the deep freezer. This tackle ultimately ended Alfie's career, and Keane got banned for 3 matches. But when you successfully conquer your enemy, you look for other ways to hurt them some more. 21 years later, Alfie's son Erling Haaland signed for his old man's club and immediately took the league by storm. In his first season, he broke the Premier League goal-scoring record that had stood for 30 years. He won the treble and narrowly missed out on the Ballon d'Or to Messi. But Roy Keane waited for the perfect opportunity to cook him.
But the levels of his general play is so poor. And not just today, I think his laying stuff off, living headers or whatever it might be. In terms of front of the goal, he's best in the world. But for his general play, for such a player, it is so poor. Not just today, I think he has to improve that. He's almost like a League Two player. That's the way I look at him. His general player has to improve, and it will do over the next few years. This brilliant striker is fantastic, but he has to improve his all-round game. Has to.
What the hell?
Damn. Transferring hate from father to son, that's wild. But in Cristiano Ronaldo's house, mentioning Messi's name is banned. Between 2008 and 2017, Ronaldo and Messi went goals for goals, band for band, Ballon d'Or for Ballon d'Or, woman for woman, and kids for kids. These guys looked for the craziest ways to compete against each other. Although these two have shared the stage many times, they literally hate each other. Having left Real Madrid in 2017, CR7 dropped out of contention for the Ballon d'Or, while his rival Lionel Messi became UEFA and FIFA's darling child. Seeing his rival get all the attention and Ballon d'Ors made CR7 bitter. In 2018, Ronaldo's sister Katia said, "We don't talk about Messi at home. Cristiano knows that behind the door, there's a whirlwind, and that when he goes through that door from the outside to the inside, he's protected. That's where he recharges all his batteries." When Messi won his 7th Ballon d'Or at PSG, Cristiano Ronaldo commented "factos" under an Instagram post questioning why the award was given to Messi. Then, when Messi won his 8th Ballon d'Or, Ronaldo commented with 4 laughing emojis on a post claiming Messi was undeservedly given the award again. His sister liked a post of Ronaldo posing with his 5 Ballon d'Ors with the caption, "Earned, not given." But with the 2 past their prime, we thought all of this was behind us. But what got CR7 suspended in the Saudi League proved otherwise. Damn. Ronaldo's hate for Messi is so real, he didn't mind getting suspended. But Maxi Lopez hated a player so bad because he stole his entire family. When Mauro Icardi and Maxi Lopez first met at the Barcelona Academy, the two instantly became friends. After all, they were both Argentines trying to find their way in a foreign country. Away from Spain, they became teammates again at Sampdoria, where their friendship became stronger. At the time, Maxi Lopez was married to Argentine TV star Wanda Nara, with whom he had 3 sons. But inviting Icardi to his home proved to be the worst mistake he ever made. Icardi and Wanda started having an affair, and the once successful marriage and friendship became the biggest saga in Italian football. Ultimately, the marriage ended and she immediately announced she was marrying Icardi. When the two met in a match between Inter and Sampdoria, Maxi Lopez refused to shake Icardi's hand in a match that was called Wanda Derby. To add insult to injury, Icardi tattooed the children of Lopez and Wanda on his arm and posted on Instagram saying, "Love these 3 little angels." Damn, men have died for lesser things than this. But that's only 4 sets of players that hate each other. We've still got to see a dude who leaked his friend's sex tape and another legend who plotted his revenge for 4 years. But before we get to those, these 2 players took their El Clasico rivalry to a crazy level. The rivalry between Barcelona and Real Madrid players is as old as football itself, but most of them show it on the pitch. But Spanish teammates Arbilo and Piqué took theirs a little too personally. The pair had won the Euros and World Cup together, but war broke out when Piqué tweeted about Real Madrid in 2013. The Los Blancos had just beaten Elche with the 94th minute penalty. Piqué, who was watching the match, mocked the softness of the penalty kick by tweeting, "There's always something good at this time of night." His Spanish made the Los Blancos fans furious, and Arbilo responded by saying, "Very happy with the 3 points. I'm happy some people are changing the theater for the cinema. That is always good." Since then, whenever something controversial happened around Madrid and Barcelona, the two would exchange words on Twitter like a bunch of online trolls. In 2016, Arbilo decided to troll Barca after they lost to Real Sociedad by posting how hard it is to win against 11. Piqué quickly responded by saying, "A player that started only 1 match at the age of 32 doesn't deserve a response." But Arbilo got his revenge in 2017 when Piqué asked for respect after a press conference. He tweeted, "How easy to lack respect for someone and then ask for it yourself. Whoever sows winds reaps storms." It feels weird when grown men fight on the internet, because what real men do is fight the way Roy Keane and Vieira did. During the late 90s and early 2000s, Arsenal and Manchester United hate each other like Kendrick and Drake. Fueling both teams were captains Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane. In most games, these two would ram into each other like 2 trucks colliding, and everyone knew a day would come when things would get violent. With the cameras awaiting the teams to come out at Arsenal Stadium, a commotion began in the tightly packed tunnel. Keane and Vieira wanted to fight each other. It felt like the long-awaited World War III was about to happen, but thanks to the referee and other players, things were brought back to normal. This was a fight everyone was anticipating, but no one knew what had happened until years later when Gary Neville said this.
It came out of the previous game we played at Old Trafford, but I got the brunt of it because I was playing against him as a direct opponent. And I just remember hearing these footsteps behind me and Vieira shouting, "Neville, Neville, you're not going to kick our players out on this pitch today." Roy obviously turned back, heard him, and started having a go at him, and he sort of squirted his water bottle towards Roy, and then all hell broke loose.
Roy Keane hated Vieira because they were rivals, but Robert Lewandowski hated his teammate because of politics. When Robert Lewandowski signed with Borussia Dortmund in 2008, everyone expected him to get along with his Polish teammate Kuba Błaszczykowski. I almost bit my tongue there. But soon enough, people noticed the two didn't get along well. Wondering what might be the problem, it was discovered that the players hated each other because they supported opposing political parties back home. Over the years, their relationship got even worse, and when Lewandowski was getting married, he invited every member of the Polish national team except Kuba. Footballers beefing over political parties is one of the silliest things I've ever seen, but for Ibrahimovic, there's nothing funny about his hatred for Marco Materazzi. In a 2006 match between Juventus and Inter, Marco Materazzi brought down Ibrahimovic with a scissor tackle. Looking at the replay, it's the stuff you do to people you hate. Years passed, and everyone forgot something like that happened. Zlatan himself transferred to Inter, then went to Barcelona, and then came back to Italy to play for AC Milan. But something crazy happened in the Milan derby of 2010. The game started aggressively, with the Inter defenders marking Zlatan closely. Instead of getting frustrated by the special attention, Zlatan used it to fuel a dark secret he'd been hiding. He got fouled by none other than Materazzi in the penalty box. Zlatan stood up and converted the penalty with confidence. But it was in the second half that Zlatan did something straight out of a Jackie Chan movie. He sent Materazzi straight to the hospital. When asked why he did that, Zlatan said, "In the second half, Matrix is coming at me and I hit him with a Taekwondo move. I sent him to the hospital." Stankovic asked me, "Why'd you do that?" And I replied to him, "I've been waiting for this moment for 4 years, that's why." Then I left. What goes around comes around. Plotting revenge for 4 years is straight up evil. But this is what I expected Kevin De Bruyne to do when Courtois messed with his girl. In the early 2010s, De Bruyne and Courtois were both young Belgian players on Chelsea's books. Naturally, they became close friends and would regularly hang out together. Then, in 2014, something crazy happened that destroyed their friendship. News broke out that Courtois had an affair with De Bruyne's girlfriend. To make matters worse, the girl came out and said, "Thibaut gave me that in one night, what I'd sorely missed for 3 years with Kevin." Geez, I wonder what that was. But after being roasted by his friend and girlfriend, my man had blood in his eyes. But she wasn't done talking. She continued, "In the summer of 2012, Kevin told me that he had an affair with my old best friend. I gave him the choice, her or me. I guess it's 1-1 then?" But the hatred between the former friends grew even deeper. It was so bad that Belgian coach thought about dropping Courtois from the national team. In his autobiography, De Bruyne said, "The coach asked me if he should leave the team. I do not think I had the right to say that he cannot play for the national team anymore because he did something wrong. Of course, he remains a good goalkeeper, so I said he could stay." That's a class act right there. I know I can't be that nice. Just like Mbappe, who hated Neymar so badly, he forced him to learn Arabic. When Mbappe linked up with Neymar at PSG, the two players instantly became friends. They would tear up defenses by day and bag all the French chicks by night. But things started going sideways when the PSG management did something silly. In a desperate bid to stop him from going to Madrid for free, PSG hierarchy effectively handed over control of the club to Mbappe. With so much power at his fingertips, Mbappe's ego grew like yeast and flour. He showed early signs when he called Neymar a tramp for not passing the ball to him. The arrival of Messi increased the cracks. Instead of Neymar being best buddies with Mbappe, he reconnected with his own Barcelona mates, and Mbappe was left out to dry.
Mbappe's doing it on his own to fill his ego, and Neymar is doing it on his own to fill his ego, because both of them feel like they should be number one. And guess what? Neither one of them are number one. Lionel Messi is part of that team. And as long as Lionel Messi is part of that team, they have to defer to him.
The beef grew worse when the two fought for a penalty kick.
Cette deuxième penalty, l'ordre il paraît établi, c'est ce que le coach.
Vous le tirez, vous l'avez paré, le penalty raté.
The tension kept building up despite both players denying any rift between them. PSG announced they were going to have a peace meeting to calm tensions, but instead of a peaceful resolution, rumors emerged that Mbappe requested that Neymar be sold.
Reports are now saying that Kylian Mbappe wants Neymar out of the club.
Since he was involved in transfer decisions, the club were open to receiving offers for Neymar. The pair quietly stopped following each other on Instagram, and the once great friends were now enemies. In the summer of 2023, Mbappe got his wish and shipped Neymar to Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia. What happened next confirmed everything people were saying about their beef. Mbappe penned a heartfelt goodbye post to Messi and other PSG players who were leaving, but never said anything to Neymar. He posted pictures of himself and players who found clubs, but never for him and Neymar. Despite everything that happened, it was sad to see a friendship that produced over 335 goals for PSG end this badly. I bet you think this is the worst case of ruined friendships. Well, wait till you see what John Terry did to his best friend. But before we get to that, let's look at a player who hates Cristiano Ronaldo just because he's more handsome.
I'm not gonna say that I'm looking better than him, which is true.
During Sir Alex Ferguson's dominant era at Manchester United, Wayne Rooney and Cristiano Ronaldo were two of his most potent weapons.
Now they can break. Decent part. Rooney's got some space to his left. Here is Wayne Rooney. Ronaldo's getting up with him.
They combined brilliantly to help the club win multiple trophies. After Ronaldo left for Real Madrid, they had different career paths. Rooney ended up in management. But in 2021, the craziest transfer happened. CR7 was coming back to Man United, the prodigal son coming back home. But this fairy tale reunion worked at first until it stopped working. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag started to bench Ronaldo, which made him mad. Ronaldo stormed out of the United-Tottenham game because he was benched and had to be dropped out of the squad against Chelsea because of it.
I'm not hiding that the empathy with the coach is not good. I'm honest.
You don't have a good relationship with him?
The empathy is not good.
Do you think he respects you?
I think he don't respect the way I should deserve.
Against Manchester City, where United got destroyed, he didn't bring you on. He brought on other strikers, but didn't bring you on. I felt insulted on your behalf. I was like, well, surely against Manchester City, if you're losing this badly and you've got the greatest player of all time sitting there, you at least give him some time, don't you? But he didn't.
Well, everyone know that.
Disrespecting you think?
Exactly. This is why I say I don't have respect for him because he don't show me respect for me.
A question about the saga, Rooney said Ronaldo was being an unwanted distraction to the team, and he didn't feel United were a better team with him on it.
So, for instance, Cristiano Ronaldo is mindless as goals. He doesn't care about anything else, it's goals. That's all he wants.
This angered Cristiano Ronaldo, and he had this to say when he granted Piers Morgan an interview.
I don't know. I don't know why he criticized me so bad, or...
Is it jealousy as well, perhaps, that you're still playing and still in the Man United?
Probably, because he finished his career with 30s, so I'm still playing high level. I'm not gonna say that I'm looking better than him, which is true, but that is
inarguable. I mean, there's no contest.
It's hard to listen that kind of criticize and negative about people who play with you.
Damn, he cooked him so hard. But ever since, Rooney has had his revenge by saying the one thing Ronaldo hates the most.
Where you look at Messi, for instance, he wants to play a bit more than...
Messi is better. But at least Ronaldo only criticized his friend, unlike John Terry, who smashed his teammate's girlfriend. Many of us remember when John Terry was an exemplary captain of Chelsea and one of the best Premier League defenders of all time. While at Chelsea, he became very close to fellow defender Wayne Bridge, and since they were friends, they spent time together with their respective partners. But something crazy happened that turned their whole lives upside down. news broke out that John Terry had an affair with Wayne Bridges' girlfriend. It shocked the entire country as no one believed Terry was capable of something like that. But the appetite for a sex scandal was too strong, and the media reported on the issue daily. It got so bad that John Terry was stripped as captain of the England national team. Wayne Bridge, who is now playing at Man City, received messages of support from his former and current teammates. But as the game between Chelsea and Man City came up, everyone waited eagerly to see what would happen as the players met for the first time since the scandal. And on match day, the beef that had been brewing didn't disappoint. Bridge refused to shake Terry's hand in one of the most viral videos on the internet at the time.
The other Manchester City players. And Wayne Bridge misses out. No conciliatory gesture.
And since then, Bridge has hated Terry, and the one-time best friends became enemies. But Wayne Bridges' ex-wife came out to deny all the allegations, but no one listened. And the stain of the scandal remains with all three of them to date. But do you think this is bad? What Karim Benzema did wasn't just terrible. It got him sentenced to prison. This crazy story started when Matthew Valbuena told the police about the blackmail threats he got because of a sex tape. But because Valbuena didn't want any scandal, he asked Benzema for advice, and the French striker told him to just pay the guys. Suspicious of this response, Valbuena informed the police, and they promptly tapped Benzema's phone. Soon enough, police discovered a bombshell.
He's not taking us seriously. Do not worry. He has no choice. I'll make him understand. He will pay.
With the evidence stacked against him, Benzema was convicted and sentenced to prison for his role in the blackmail.
Karim Benzema has been found guilty of complicity in the attempted blackmail of former France teammate Mathieu Valbuena over a sex tape and sentenced to a 1-year suspended jail term by a court.
Since then, Valbuena has hated anything to do with Benzema. He couldn't believe someone he trusted could betray him like this. For Benzema, on the other hand, this scandal got him banned from the national team and ultimately cost him a World Cup medal. Karim Benzema might be heartless enough to scam his teammate, but what he can't do is cry at a press conference like Lionel Messi did. Click on the next video to find out the 10 most emotional moments in football history.